Feeling aimless in life? As aimless as this strand of hair here? Man, that's pretty aimless. I think that you should probably stay tuned.
A better you starts today.
Hey, this is a common question that I get, and I thought that I would share it with you, even though you're probably not a patron, and this is the kind of stuff that we usually do discuss on Patreon, which is that if you have a specific question, I might answer it if I'm feeling generous. That's just one of the many pokes at Jordan Shanks. Yeah, I know I usually put the advertisement somewhere in the middle, but we're running unorthodoxly today. Why? No reason at all. Probably not a good idea. So, you feel aimless in life. You feel like you're going nowhere, you feel like you're floundering, you feel like the things that used to fulfill you no longer fulfill you, etc., etc. This is a very normal thing, as normal as it is to have a microphone out in a Fijian island that I obviously own. And I would very much like you to understand this one point about your specific problem here, which is that illusion of aimlessness is always going to be there. I want you to write this down. Your aimlessness is an illusion. Your aimlessness is an illusion. Why is that illusion happening? This is probably going to change your entire life. Your perspective of it, where you're going, how energized you are to get there. This all answers all of it. This is a really, really important point, okay? I want you to write this down. The reason that you feel aimless is because where you were aiming before has been hit. The reason you feel aimless is because where you were aiming before has been hit. Now, that also includes people that have no direction and are legitimately aimless. Yes, if you are just firing arrows randomly in the sky, they'll just land not where the target is. I'm sure you're aware from Year 6 camp. Well, maybe you weren't as psychotic as me and weren't actively trying to hit the archery teacher, but I was. And in the process, well, I still had a target. It was just a moving target, a very scared moving target. And unfortunately, this is most people's life. Most people's life is just randomly shooting off arrows in random directions. No wonder they feel aimless. They literally are. They're just shooting them off. My point is that those arrows are still reaching a destination. Those arrows are still reaching a destination because every action that you do in life is going to push off yet another action. Every single one of them. And so when you start to really confine and scope in on what specific actions you want to take in life to get that specific result, your life starts changing in immeasurable ways very quickly. This is something that I noticed as soon as I got a life coach in life, right? Which is why you sign up to Jordan Shanks if you are aimless in life, because it's the cheap-ass's life coach. But what I noticed is a lot of the time they just sit there and they say, well, where do you want to go in life? And then you just have to squirm for half an hour and go, I guess I want to go here. And just the fact that you have someone there, again, this is really good why you should try and sign up, but having that person sit there and say, where do you want to go? Where are you going? Where do you want to go? That forces you to go, hey, all right, I want to go here. And sometimes you'll just arbitrarily pick something just to get them off your back. What you will notice is, over the next couple of months, you go there. You start doing those actions. You are doing those actions. Those actions are a part of your life at that point. But you've hit that target. And now you're looking for a different target. So there is this illusion of aimlessness. But if you go back and measure your results, as important in the gym as it is in life, if you go back and you look at, here's what I wanted to accomplish. This is a classic thing that you see all the time with people who put in their New Year's resolutions. They put them away, they look at them at the end of the year, and they've done like 70% of them. This is just because you gave your brain a directive and then it just goes, okay, and then it just starts moving that way. And most people don't do that. So even if you are somebody that is putting out, I want to be here, like a lot of things in self-help, just doing that basic action. I want to be here. I want to do this thing. I want to experience this thing. Even writing it down, you're ahead of 99% of the population. Well, let's be honest, 97% of the population already, just by doing that. Just by doing that one simple action, which you are going to do, by the way. As soon as this finishes, you're going to get out your success journal and you are going to write your directions in life. Now, the reason that works, we've got all of the evidence over the years, is just basically that the brain is a goal-seeking machine. It will move to wherever it wants to go. wherever it is told to go, and it'll do that. But I just want you to understand this one point. All these people that are coming up to me constantly and saying, I feel directionless, I feel aimless in life. Look, in your life, there is going to be points where it just feels like the wind is behind your sails and you are falling towards the destination almost by destiny. Synchrodestinic action is just taking you there. There's going to be other times when you're in a storm. There's going to be other times when the sails are just down and you're kind of floating. And let's be honest, that's probably most of your life. Most of your life is just your sails down and you're going to be floating. And the key in those moments is to remember that the boat is still drifting. The boat is still drifting. I want you to make sure that you can point it to that direction. Now, I think that an apt metaphor for this channel is, and why you should subscribe to it, is that we give you all of these tools so that you can have your sails open more, so there is more chance of hitting those winds, right? That is a very necessary thing to do in life. But a lot of life, things aren't happening, you know? It's very easy to just look at someone's Instagram reel and think, oh my God, they've got their hat backwards. They must be a millionaire. And maybe they are. But a lot of their life, even if they're a millionaire, is still eating El Jana's chicken, the millionaire's choice. A lot of their life is taking a dump. They probably don't show that. That's an OnlyFans thing. And so that is a big, big misconception with everybody out there. It's just this exception that, or this expectation that the winds should be endlessly behind you constantly. That does happen. There are periods of your life where you're just like, oh my God, life is moving so fast. And then what happens in those moments? Oh, I wish I could have a break. Oh, at this time, it's, to quote Donald Trump, it's too much winning. That's what starts happening to you. So what do? This is a big question. What do we do? The thing that you remember is that you are pointing in the direction of where you want to go. And by pointing in the direction of where you want to go, a lot of it after that is just automatic. But I want you to just acknowledge that everything that you weren't aiming at, you have hit. You know, all of your actions, all of your thoughts have led you to where you are. And I know that you're sitting there and thinking, oh, okay, well, this is just a result of everything that I've thought ever since I was a child. To an extent, yeah. But we're just talking about in the short-term past. In the short-term past of like a couple of months ago, you are doing actions that you thought about a couple of months ago. That is extraordinary to me. That is how much the brain is constantly looking for direction, which is why you have this illusion endlessly of, I'm not hitting this, because you've hit that, and so your brain just moves to another point. Now, the genius thing about that is that you can just direct where you want to go next. You have the capacity to do that. Think about what an incredible gift that is and how much you waste it, including myself. I waste it all the time. All the time. These videos are as much a reminder to you as they are to me. I endlessly waste my capacity to aim the arrow. I'm always wasting it because it's just boring. I've done it before. I know what this is doing, you know, and then you just sit there and you complain about, oh, I feel like I'm going nowhere in life. This is an endless complaint that I get on this channel. I feel like I'm going nowhere in life. Yes, you feel like that because you are not measuring your results. That's the only reason you feel like that. If you go back and look at where you were a couple of months ago, there would be a bunch of things that you have accomplished that you have achieved because of your own self-determination. And I want you to be cognizant of that. That's why I want you to write down in your success journal now, I want you to write down a bunch of things that you were thinking about doing a couple of months ago that you are doing now. You will be shocked how many there are. Some of you will be losers. There won't be one. But most of you, there will be quite a few. And that is astonishing. Do you understand? No? Well, then why have you clicked on this? You obviously don't understand English. Go do your homework.